Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. plus. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is steady and organized at work, but don't expect him to suddenly move up very fast or make a big name for himself. He does his job well and keeps things running smoothly, but he usually doesn't speak up for himself or push for bigger opportunities. In the end, he will likely stay in the safe zone rather than climb very high.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he tends to feel the stress deeply and may even shut down for a while. Instead of bouncing back quickly, he is more likely to get upset and keep his worries to himself. You may see him retreat or become quiet, needing space rather than support.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work usually find him polite and easy to be around since he avoids arguments and tries to keep the peace. He doesn't like to fight or raise his voice, so he's not the type to have loud disagreements or stir up drama. However, he can seem distant or quiet because he keeps his feelings and thoughts to himself.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you succeed in your career, he probably won't show open jealousy or try to compete with you. He isn't the type to make rude comments or pick fights about it. He will stay polite but distant rather than being your loudest cheerleader.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he likely won't complain or make a scene, but inside it can bother him. He may feel small or insecure seeing you do better financially, and instead of talking it out, he might just go quiet and withdraw a bit. He's unlikely to say anything harsh, but you could sense an invisible wall building up.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He is careful with money and prefers knowing where every rupee goes. He sticks to routines, plans ahead, and tries to avoid taking risks with spending. You won't find him impulsively buying things or making big financial decisions without careful thought.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives within his means and doesn't try to show off or act richer than he really is. He prefers to be safe and practical, choosing what he knows he can afford rather than chasing after a flashy lifestyle. You're unlikely to see him buying fancy things just to impress others.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He's very careful with money, often holding it close and thinking twice before spending. While he's polite and won't be rude, he might find it hard to be openly generous or do small acts of kindness, especially if it means stepping out of his comfort zone. His kindness usually shows in quiet, practical ways, like helping with chores, but his heart isn't quick to open through grand gestures or giving.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is more likely to keep things to himself than to be completely open about money matters. He might not lie or actively hide things, but he could avoid talking about financial worries or decisions, preferring to manage things on his own. He likes to feel in control of the situation, so it's hard for him to share the responsibility or ask for input.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He values order and routines, so he believes housework is important and should be done well. He may not say it out loud, but he quietly expects both of you to share the load rather than dumping all the chores on you. With him, housework is more about getting things done right than about who does more.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is not the type to just stand around and watch while you do all the work. He believes in keeping things neat and organized, so he will step in to actually do chores and tidy up when needed. He sees the work itself and makes sure it gets done right, not just by supervising you.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He isn't one to argue loudly or try to prove you wrong. Instead, he tends to go quiet when a disagreement comes up, sometimes pulling back instead of talking things through. While he won't pick fights, it can feel like he's not really listening or trying to see your side.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he gets angry, he usually stays respectful and avoids saying hurtful things or acting out aggressively. Instead of shouting or making nasty remarks, he tends to shut down, become very quiet, or walk away from the situation. His anger might show as cold silence or withdrawal rather than open aggression.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, he can get upset or angry quite easily, sometimes over small things. He may not always show it loudly, but you will notice he becomes tense, withdrawn, or stops talking when something bothers him. While he doesn't lash out or become aggressive, living with someone who's often on edge can be tiring and lonely.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it hard to come forward and apologize or admit when he's made a mistake. Instead of saying sorry or talking things through, he's more likely to go silent and avoid the topic. This can leave you feeling unheard and carrying the burden alone.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is someone who values manners and avoids open conflict, so he is likely to respect your boundaries and listen when you say no. He isn't pushy or aggressive. Instead, he would rather back off than risk upsetting you. If you clearly tell him what you are comfortable with, he is more likely to step back quietly than to challenge your wishes. Sometimes he may not ask questions or talk things through, but he won't press you to do things you don't want.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Even if you explain gently, he may become quiet, withdrawn, or seem a little hurt thinking it's about him rather than your feelings or mood. This doesn't come from anger, but from him feeling insecure or unsure about himself.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to handle private moments with care. He does not believe in using personal things against you or bringing up intimate details to hurt or embarrass you, even during disagreements. He values privacy and respects clear boundaries, so your trust is safe with him.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is steady in his ways and not the type to go looking for excitement or attention from other women. He values routine, order, and keeping life simple, which makes him less likely to wander or get distracted by others. In relationships, he prefers safety over thrill, so faithfulness comes naturally to him.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He is not usually over possessive or openly controlling. Instead of acting jealous or suspicious, he tends to keep his worries and emotions inside. You won't find him checking your phone or telling you who you can talk to.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his so called protective nature is not a cover for being controlling. He's not the type to tell you what to do, where to go, or who to meet. His desire for order comes from wanting stability, not from needing to be in charge of your every move.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will help out with parenting, especially when it comes to routines and keeping things organized. But he may quietly expect you to do most of the emotional and soft work with the kids. He handles his share of chores and daily tasks without much complaint, yet, when children need comfort, play, or guidance, he might step back and let you take the lead. For him, teamwork is about keeping things in order more than sharing every part of parenting equally.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he's more likely to lose his temper than to stay calm. He can get frustrated quickly, especially if routines are broken or rules aren't followed. The children might feel his disappointment even if he doesn't say much.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He will show respect for your role as a mother and be polite about your choices, but he might not always see or encourage your need to have your own life and interests outside the family. He tends to focus on routines and responsibilities, sometimes missing the bigger picture of your hopes, dreams, or need for personal space. If you want open encouragement for your goals beyond home, you may need to start those conversations as he is quiet about such matters.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, this could be a real concern with him. He may politely support your career now, but once a child arrives, he could quietly expect you to step back or take on more at home without clearly saying so. It's wise to talk about this openly before big life changes so you aren't surprised later on.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He will treat your parents politely and follow good manners, making sure to be respectful and not cause any trouble. However, don't expect much real warmth or deep bonding from him. Conversations may stay basic and formal, without much open laughter or affection. He is more likely to quietly stick to his own ways rather than expect your family to change for him. But real adjustment from his side will be limited.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he is unlikely to handle it calmly or step in to smooth things over. Instead, he is more likely to become withdrawn, avoid the situation, or stay completely silent. Rather than helping to make peace, his quietness could make things feel heavier for you.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is likely the kind of man who's more relaxed and modern with you in private, but when relatives are around, he may quietly expect you to act like a traditional, supportive wife. He values order and following norms. So, in family or social settings, he won't want to rock the boat or stand out. If being your true self around his family is important to you, it's good to talk about this openly so you both know what to expect.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is most likely to stay out of it rather than openly supporting you or taking sides. He avoids conflict and prefers to let issues calm down on their own, even if you need him to stand by you. He won't usually side openly with his family against you, but his silence and distance might feel the same.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He is not a classic mummy's boy who blindly follows his mother, but he also finds it very hard to choose your side in any conflict with her. Instead of clearly standing by you or supporting her, he will most likely stay silent and try to avoid the situation altogether. This can leave you feeling alone or stuck in the middle.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He is not the kind of man who will run to his mother or sister with every detail of your fights or private matters. He prefers to keep personal issues within your own four walls, handling things quietly and privately. If he does share anything, it's usually very little and only when he feels completely stuck.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so, not too good, not too bad, a bit mediocre. Being with this man day in and day out feels steady but can also be lonely at times. You get reliability, chores are done, bills are paid, routines are followed, and there's no loud drama.